You know, guys, I don't know what to say, man. It's just another day as the Scat Master. I know not a lot of people can relate, but let me tell you, it ain't easy being right. I told a lot of people, just hold your horses for season 2. I know it sounds like there's some things being added in. I know it looks good on paper, but the communication has really been improved from Infinity Ward's end. I'll give them that. But in terms of the execution, in terms of what's actually here in season 2, guys, there's no sugarcoating this. Season 2 is kind of a step up from what we had in season 1, but ultimately, is this good? No, absolutely not. It's not good. Look, on paper, we went from, 10 maps to 12 maps, so I guess by definition, we have more content, but is it really more content? We've talked about this already. Dome and Museum, they're just not new maps. If you haven't played Season 2 yet, let me just tell you, I got done playing a full session of just Dome and Museum. Those two maps get old extremely quickly, and it's not because they're bad maps, and I'll be the first to say it. Museum, for as much crap as people are giving it, I don't think it's the worst map in this game. That's obviously going to Tarak and goddamn border crossing. Museum isn't half bad, from my opinion. But god damn it, we already played it in the beta. When it comes to Dome, we just had it in Vanguard, and I know everybody has talked about this, but that's exactly my point. Everybody knew exactly what to expect with this season, and you had content creators like myself, like Blame Truth, Narrow Cinema, 8 Thoughts, Thunder, even Exclusive Ace and Prestige. Everybody was saying, you know what, this just sounds like a slight extension to what we just had, because this isn't new content. So from our perspective, we just put out the easiest prediction we could have ever made, and obviously it came true. There was no way things would have been different. I just need to ask you guys, to the people who are pleased with this season, to the people who are impressed with this update, to the gooch lickers out there, I know you guys have an anatomy problem with this. I know just biologically you have an issue with this. So please, pass me the Viagra right now, because this update does not excite me. It doesn't hype me up. It doesn't stimulate me whenever I look at the screen, simply because there's nothing to be excited about. The entire community called this from a mile away. We were getting a remastered map that we just saw, in addition to Museum from the beta. Who did not see that coming? Gooch Lickers, I'm sure you even saw this coming. Now granted, there was one thing that actually did change, that was not originally planned and was not originally on the roadmap, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and I'll talk about the implications with it, but I gotta be honest, guys. There's one thing since the launch of this game that has actually grabbed my attention, and the best part about it is, it's not even by Infinity Ward. It's ranked play, and I'm not gonna go into a whole segment about it. You guys have seen the gameplays since this game launched. Obviously, I'm not just playing this game all that casually. The few moments that I choose to play this game, I much rather do it in a competitive environment, so obviously I liked ranked play, but the thing is, it's not even created or developed by Infinity Ward. It's by Treyarch. Who would have guessed? The one thing I like about Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2 wasn't even created by the main developers behind the multiplayer. Typical Infinity Ward guys, they don't have the skill set anymore that they used to. COD 4 through MW3, yeah, their run was amazing. Every single project they've created since has been mid at best. Ghost, mid. Infinite Warfare, saved by MWR. MW 2019, I'll die on this hill proudly. That game sucks. And MW 2019 Part 2. I have given this game this title time and time again. The worst Call of Duty in history in terms of content. Some of the maps are better than MW 2019's maps easily, with the exception of Border Crossing and Tarak obviously, but even that's not saying much because MW 2019's map looked like my shit stains on the goddamn toilet paper. Jesus. It's not necessarily that the season is disappointing or that it's bad, because again, by definition, we have more content than we did before, but wait, here on the channel, you guys have heard me talk about this. Are we settling for that, guys? Are we happy about this? Not at all. This is the stuff that we should have seen at launch. not mid-February. And I can already tell you right now, that's as much as this season is ever gonna be. It's all the exact same experience. The only important thing in these seasons, in my opinion, should always be the maps, and we got no new maps until today, when Call of Duty finally tweeted out something of minor significance. They said, in case you missed it, a new Modern Warfare 2 map will be launching with Season 2 Reloaded. Interesting, we'll see how this played out. The Infinity Ward multiplayer team has decided to move the map up as it's already playtesting well and tracking ahead of schedule. Stay tuned for more details on this core 6v6 map as we get closer. Now guys, let me tell you right now. First of all, before I dig into it, let me just say, finally. Actually, I should be saying you're welcome, that we finally got something new, and it won't come in for another month and a half, but at least it's something. And that is as much positivity and as much credit as I'll give Activision and Infinity Ward. But you guys know exactly what my take is on this. First of all, it's cap that this was just playtesting well and we're ahead of schedule. No. Obviously, this was after community backlash. Obviously, this is after the people who were quote-unquote crying and hating for views, right? What happened to the just stop complaining crowd? What happened to those guys? They're awfully silent. Today, they're radio silent. I haven't heard a single one of them talk or chirp. You know why? Because everybody knows that this map would not have come in Season 2 at all if it weren't for the community speaking up and finally telling the devs how it is. It's not always good being the optimist, guys. Sometimes being the pessimist will get you somewhere. Not all the time, but clearly in a game as abusive as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2 with developers as incompetent as Infinity Ward, finally some critical thinking and some critical feedback has actually gotten us something. Now here's the thing, although we are getting some thing, singular thing, I have a quick pop quiz for you guys. That's right. Let me ask you right now, should the community be happy and should the community give Infinity Ward credit and praise for this new map being added in Season 2 Reloaded? I'll give you guys a second. Gooch Lickers, I know you guys probably got this one wrong, but the answer is outstandingly 100% without a doubt, no! Not at all. The community should not give these bozos a single ounce of praise. Not a single ounce. You know why? Because we've been asking for this for the better part of the last 4 years. Not necessarily the idea of giving us an extra map, but the idea of listening to the community because we obviously know more than the developers. We don't know how to develop the game, but we sure as hell know what makes a Call of Duty good and what doesn't make a Call of Duty good. Infinity Ward has not had that for the last decade. When we give Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, those two specifically, when we give them feedback, it's because the community knows right from wrong for the most part. We don't always get it. Sometimes we do get in over our heads a little bit, but I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to those two development studios, we are right. The community is right 90% of the time. And I'm not talking about the Gooch Lickers. I'm not talking about the content creators that are, oh, Infinity Ward, oh, Activision, oh, I used my creator code for the new bundle. No, I'm talking about the portion of the community that is not cross-eyed, that is not constantly cross-faded. I'm talking about the people who are level-headed and know exactly what would make these games better. And when we talk and people criticize us for being overly negative, this is one of those moments that completely proves you wrong. Time for pop quiz number 2. Had the community and a lot of these content creators not spoken up, had we not said anything, do you think we would have actually gotten a third map in Season 2? Gooch Lickers, you probably got this wrong. You probably also agree with Call of Duty's tweet that apparently Infinity Ward is ahead of schedule somehow when we just delayed Season 2 by 2 weeks. So by definition, how could you ever possibly be ahead of schedule? Look, there's something in the water they're drinking. I don't know. But I think the answer is pretty obvious. Had nobody said a word, I guarantee you we would have spent the next 2 months playing Museum and fucking dome. At least 5 months in, we'll finally have one original DLC map by Infinity Ward. Again, that is nothing to give them credit for. That is some like D tier below average fucking -20 IQ common sense BS that they're trying to spew out to us as something that would be impressive. Scadmaster's not impressed. I hope none of you guys are impressed. And if you are, let me tell you again as Coach Master Fooly, stop settling for less. The community could easily get so much more if we just demanded more. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Are you at all in any way excited about season 2? With what we have currently? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles. It's been a very